Thus, the Battle of Thermopylae, fought in 480 BC, is etched into history as a legendary clash that epitomizes the struggle between the expansive might of the Persian Empire and the resolute spirit of the Greek city-states. The stage for this iconic battle was set by the Persian Empire's relentless ambition under King Xerxes I, who sought to extend his father Darius I's campaign into Greece, driven by a desire to subdue a perceived threat and assert dominance over the Greek city-states, particularly Athens. The Greeks, whose resistance had already been tested by earlier Persian invasions and provocations, were not willing to yield. The decisive spark came when Xerxes mobilized an unprecedentedly vast army, constructing elaborate infrastructure, including a canal and pontoon bridges, to support his invasion. As Xerxes' forces advanced, the Greeks, although divided among themselves, recognized the existential threat posed by the Persian juggernaut. The Greek response was to unite their fragmented efforts, with Athens and Sparta at the forefront, devising a strategic defense at the narrow pass of Thermopylae. This narrow corridor, flanked by mountains and the sea, was chosen as the ideal location to leverage their tactical advantage and impede the Persian advance. The ensuing battle was not just a confrontation of arms, but a symbolic struggle of freedom and honor against tyranny and oppression, setting the stage for one of history's most dramatic and enduring military encounters. In the early 5th century BC, the Persian Empire, under Darius I, aggressively expanded its reach into Europe, turning its gaze toward Greece. Having already subdued Thrace and Macedonia, Darius aimed to neutralize Greece as a threat to his empire's western borders. The motives behind this expansion are multifaceted. Some historians suggest it was a strategic move to enhance Darius's prestige and consolidate power within the empire, while others view it as a preemptive strike against the rising challenge posed by the independent Greek city-states, particularly Athens, which had begun to assert its influence. In 491 BC, Darius sent envoys to the Greek city-states with a demand for submission to Persian rule. The Greeks' response was swift and brutal. Athens and Sparta, two of the most formidable Greek states, executed the envoys, signaling their defiance. This act of rebellion was met with a severe Persian reaction. In retaliation, Darius mobilized a massive naval force to subdue the Cyclades and Euboea, establishing a direct threat to the heart of mainland Greece. The situation escalated further when the Athenians, spearheading a coalition of Greek forces, secured a decisive victory at the Battle of Marathon in 490 BC, inflicting heavy losses on the Persian forces and temporarily halting their advance. This battle, while a significant setback for Persia, only set the stage for continued and intensified hostilities, marking the beginning of a protracted and brutal conflict between Greece and the Persian Empire. The death of Darius I in 486 BC marked a dramatic shift in the Persian campaign as his son Xerxes I ascended the throne, inheriting not only his father's expansive empire but also his grandiose ambitions. Xerxes embarked on an elaborate and unprecedented preparation for the invasion of Greece, demonstrating his determination to surpass his father's achievements. His preparations included the monumental engineering feat of constructing a canal through Chalkidiki, aimed at easing the movement of his massive army, and the assembly of colossal pontoon bridges across the Hellespont, designed to accommodate the vast numbers of troops and supplies. The Persian forces, swelling into the hundreds of thousands, exemplified the might of the world's largest empire, drawing soldiers from across its diverse regions. As this formidable army began its advance, the Greek city-states were not caught off guard. They received grim prophecies from the oracle at Delphi, advising them to seek refuge to the ends of the earth, a clear indication of the existential threat posed by Xerxes' invasion. Despite their internal divisions and frequent discord, the gravity of the situation compelled the Greek city-states to set aside their differences and forge a unified front. Athens, with its powerful navy, and Sparta, renowned for its elite land forces, led a coalition to defend their homeland. The Greeks devised a dual strategy to counter the Persian threat. Their navy was to engage the Persian fleet at the Strait of Artemisium, while a strategically positioned land force would defend the narrow pass at Thermopylae. This pass was a critical choke point, offering the Greeks a chance to neutralize the overwhelming Persian numerical advantage and slow their advance, setting the stage for the epic confrontation that would soon unfold. As the Persian threat loomed ever closer, King Leonidas of Sparta took command of the Greek forces, tasked with defending the strategically crucial pass of Thermopylae, recognizing the pass's vital importance in obstructing the Persian advance. Leonidas meticulously assembled a diverse coalition of approximately 7,000 soldiers. This formidable force included 300 elite Spartans, renowned for their discipline and fighting prowess, as well as 1,000 Phocians, 700 Thespians, and 400 Thebans, each contributing their unique strengths to the united defense. Thermopylae, meaning hot gates, offered a naturally advantageous position with its narrow terrain flanked by rugged mountains and the sea, designed to neutralize the Persian army's overwhelming numerical superiority. However, Leonidas faced a significant strategic challenge. The Anapaea Path, a concealed mountain trail that presented a potential route for the Persians to outflank the Greek defensive line. To mitigate this threat, Leonidas strategically positioned 1,000 Phocians to guard the Anapaea Path, entrusting them with the critical task of preventing any Persian attempts to bypass the main Greek force and breach their position from behind. This defensive strategy was crucial in leveraging the geographic advantages of Thermopylae while addressing the inherent risks posed by the surrounding terrain, setting the stage for the dramatic clash that was about to unfold. As Xerxes' colossal army amassed near Thermopylae, he anticipated an easy victory, confident that the sheer number of his troops would force the Greeks to retreat. However, when the Greeks remained resolute, Xerxes unleashed a brutal offensive on the fifth day, deploying his troops to assault the narrow pass. His initial waves, composed of Median and Kishan soldiers, were met with fierce resistance from the Greek phalanx. The Greeks, shielded by their heavy armor and wielding long spears, turned the narrow pass into a killing ground where the Persians' numerical superiority was rendered useless. The Persians, lightly armored and poorly equipped for such close combat, suffered massive casualties as they crashed against the impenetrable Greek line. Xerxes, growing frustrated by the failure of his regular troops, sent in his elite immortals, these highly trained soldiers, renowned for their fighting skills and ability to quickly replenish their numbers, launched a determined assault. Yet, even the immortals struggled against the disciplined Greek defense. In a desperate move, the Greeks employed a tactical ruse, feigning a retreat to lure the Persians into a trap. As the Persians advanced, believing they had broken the Greeks' resolve, the Greeks regrouped and launched a fierce counterattack. This maneuver resulted in horrific bloodshed, as the Persians were caught off guard and slaughtered in the narrow confines of the pass. The battlefield was soon awash with the blood of fallen soldiers, with the Greeks' disciplined and brutal defense turning each Persian assault into a devastating melee, showcasing the horrific and relentless nature of ancient warfare. The betrayal of Ephialtes, a Greek local driven by greed or desperation, became the grim catalyst for the downfall of the Greek defenders at Thermopylae. On the night of the second day, Ephialtes approached Xerxes, offering to reveal the hidden Anapaea Path, a secret mountain trail that circumvented the narrow pass where King Leonidas and his 7,000 soldiers, including 300 Spartans, were fiercely holding their ground against the vast Persian army. In return for his treachery, Ephialtes sought a reward, and Xerxes, seizing this strategic advantage, immediately dispatched his most trusted commander, Hydarnes, along with the formidable immortals, to traverse the path. As they moved stealthily through the rugged terrain under the cloak of darkness, the Persian forces advanced unnoticed. Meanwhile, the Phocian troops, who had been stationed to guard this crucial route, were caught completely off guard, led into believing that a direct assault was imminent. The Phocians, in a state of panic, abandoned their position and retreated to higher ground. This misjudged retreat allowed the Persian army to press forward unchallenged, and by dawn, the Persian forces emerged behind the Greek lines, encircling Leonidas and his men. The sudden and brutal encirclement, coupled with the realization of Ephialtes' betrayal, thrust the Greek defenders into a dire and desperate situation. Surrounded on all sides by the Persian onslaught, the once impregnable pass now became the scene of a tragic and hopeless struggle, where the valor of the Greek warriors was overshadowed by the overwhelming might and treachery of their enemies. in the decisive final hours of the Battle of Thermopylae. The clash reached its zenith of savage intensity, as Leonidas, recognizing the hopelessness of their position, ordered a strategic retreat for the majority of Greek forces. A core group of 300 Spartans, 700 Thespians, and initially 400 Thebans chose to make their last stand. This decision was not merely a military maneuver, but a profound statement of honor, driven by the Spartans' unwavering commitment to their code of duty and the ominous prophecy from the Oracle of Delphi. On the third day of the battle, as Persian forces surged through the pass, the scene became one of extreme carnage. The narrow terrain of Thermopylae turned into a maelstrom of chaos and bloodshed. The Greeks, trapped in a kill zone, fought with an almost frenzied bravery, their heavy armor and long spears clashing with the lighter, more numerous Persian soldiers. Persian troops, equipped with a mix of bows, javelins, and swords, closed in from all sides, their relentless assault creating a horrific tableau of battle. The narrow pass, once a fortress of Greek resistance, became a slaughterhouse as the weight of the Persian army's numbers began to tell. The Spartans, renowned for their combat skills, fought with a brutal tenacity, each man desperately seeking to inflict as much damage as possible before their inevitable defeat. As Persian soldiers overwhelmed the defenders, the scene was marked by a grim struggle, with the Greeks fighting in tight, bloody hand-to-hand combat. Leonidas fell early in the fighting, his death a heavy blow to the morale of his men, but the remaining Greeks continued to fight around his lifeless body with fierce determination. The Persian onslaught was unrelenting, and as the Greeks were pushed back, the battlefield was strewn with the bodies of the fallen, both Greek and Persian, in a grim testament to the ferocity of the combat. Eventually, the Greeks were overrun, their last positions falling to the sheer force of the Persian numbers, despite the overwhelming odds and the brutal nature of their final stand. The sacrifice of Leonidas and his men became a symbol of unparalleled courage, their story echoing through history as an enduring example of honor and resistance against insurmountable odds. The aftermath of the Battle of Thermopylae, despite being a Persian victory, was marked by significant and brutal consequences that ultimately favored the Greeks. Although Xerxes overcame the Greek defenders, the battle inflicted a severe toll on the Persian army, which suffered heavy casualties due to the intense and relentless resistance. The Greeks, particularly the Spartans led by Leonidas, fought with such ferocity and tenacity that they inflicted substantial losses on the Persian ranks before their final stand. This costly victory provided the Greeks with invaluable time to consolidate their defenses and strategize. The delay allowed the Greek navy, commanded by Themistocles, to achieve a pivotal victory at the Battle of Salamis, where the Persian fleet was decisively defeated. This naval loss was catastrophic for Xerxes, undermining his campaign's momentum and forcing a strategic retreat. The following year, the Greek forces achieved a conclusive triumph at the Battle of Plataea, which effectively dismantled the Persian invasion force. While Thermopylae was a tactical victory for Persia, the battle's heavy costs and the subsequent Greek victories at Salamis and Plataea demonstrated that the Persian triumph was Pyrrhic. The legendary bravery of Leonidas and his 300 Spartans, alongside their Greek allies, became a powerful symbol of resistance and sacrifice, inspiring further Greek unity and perseverance. The enduring legacy of Thermopylae, with its vivid depiction of heroic struggle against overwhelming odds, cemented its place in history as a testament to courage and the relentless fight for freedom. The Battle of Thermopylae stands as a powerful testament to the extraordinary strength of courage and unity against overwhelming odds. The unwavering resolve of King Leonidas and his men, who chose to fight to the last breath despite knowing their fate was sealed, serves as an enduring symbol of heroism and sacrifice. Their story vividly encapsulates the profound impact of valor and selflessness, making it a beacon of inspiration throughout history. As we reflect on this epic confrontation, we are reminded of the enduring human spirit that can shine brightly even in the darkest of times. If this exploration of Thermopylae captured your interest, don't forget to subscribe for more deep dives into history's most significant moments. Hit the like button, share this video with other history enthusiasts, and share your thoughts in the comments below. Stay tuned for our next episode, where we will delve into another crucial chapter in the annals of history.